Welcome, benvenido, Hunying, benvenuto. The world is getting ready to be set on fire with the new podcast, Souls of Solidarity, coming to the Mystic 7 Record and Film YouTube channel August 22nd, 2020 at 8 p.m. We're a show where you, as an independent artist, musician, writer, filmmaker, or producer, can have a voice. Whether it be a book, new music, a film, or script you've written, we're there for you. We will cover major social issues, people in business with heartwarming stories. So join us, grab a drink, a joint, or whatever your fancy. Buckle up for the roller coaster ride of the century. Join us to the journey of the center of entertainment. New independent artists, upcoming filmmakers, new and exciting authors share their voices. Again, join us every Saturday after 8 p.m. for Souls of Solidarity.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our conversation about cannabis with our special guest host, Jeenah Huh, as she discusses the trials and tribulations of her journey in the cannabis industry.
It's just like that.
Yeah, well, tell me this, how, when you're planting these plants, how high do they get, or how high do you allow them to get?
As long as much as you want.
Okay, but you can't can you calculate, like, because I know, like, if I'm in business, like, I have to calculate how many downloads and streaming I have to sell in order for me to make money. Can you figure out estimate how much money you're going to make on each plant? Is there any way to calculate that?
Now it's not in each plant, okay, because the way it is let's just say in one tray you have 2 lights in one tray, right? And in that 2 light tray you have about 25 to 35 girls, okay? Teenage girls, right?
Right.
And you gotta work. I mean, like I said, the way it grows, you don't just turn on the light and let it bloom. No, it has to be, where it's a certain range where the girls get that perfect heat, right? And that's when they're growing, they're eating, right? Okay. And then when they're sleeping, it has to be absolutely dark, where they need to get their sleep.
Right.
They
have to be healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like humans, really. And so within indoor, I mean, you can't grow as far,
right,
as you want, but in outdoor is totally different. You can grow as tall as you want. I mean, like it could be like 10 feet, 20 feet.
Some of the plants grow that high, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. But
well, yeah, because I remember, I have land up in Mendocino, and I know the sheriff's department up there, before we became legal, they had all these hidden farms up there, and they were saying how some of those plants are like trees.
Right. They
grow so high and they have so much weed on them and stuff.
Right.
And
I mean, to me, it doesn't, just because it's big, that doesn't mean that all of the fruit is sweet, like they have a maximum, especially when they start harvesting, right? And so, it's like a perfect ratio kind of thing. And when you get, I mean, when you get that perfect time. So that's when your harvest is over. And all these strains, type of strains, they grow differently. Some of them, they grow a lot more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they yield a lot more. Like sativas, they yield a lot more than indicas. Okay.
Okay.
Indicas need a lot more time. Let's just say with the sativas, right?
Right.
I mean, honestly, you can finish it in 8 weeks, 8.5 weeks to 9 weeks.
Okay,
But
so now sativa is the day weed,
yes,
okay, and indica is the night weed.
yeah,
And then the hybrid is the two combined.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I want to get that straight for our viewers so they understand when you say indica or sativa, that they understand the difference between the
But
two.
you know what? These days, I think most of all the products, they're all hybrids. They're
Yeah.
all hybrids. I don't see a solid, pure breed nowadays. It's really hard. You
Yeah.
know, honestly, I'm all about the old school stuff, with our original, strains, because they were strong the way it was.
Right.
It's always, stronger when they're not mixed in.
Mm.
So, anyways,
That makes a
back.
difference. Well, so tell me this. Okay,
Yeah.
so now you started growing,
Mhm.
and okay, and then you have to do. I know you have, after you grow, you got to package, market, and distribute. Okay, when were you able to get your license at
No,
that time?
no, I didn't have a license then. I was
Oh, you
right.
didn't.
Yes. So my very first commercial grow, right?
Hmm.
Now I have 50 lights, and um, I was working with good strains at that time. I didn't only grow the New York Sour Diesel. I grew that and 5 more other strains. Okay, and most important thing about like the cannabis industry is, if you want to get in it, you should know from the basic all the way around to business. Okay, because everybody is separated, whether they're cultivators, they're manufacturers, or they just like retails, or distribution and retails. They don't really do much. Okay, they don't need to know a lot. They're the ones who actually makes the most money.
Yeah, they need to sell their product, sell the product.
Yes. So I mean, and not only that, the retails get it wholesale, and then they break it down. So when you break it down, right? I mean, back in 2009, like a gram was like $25. 25.
Mhm.
It was the highest. Okay, highest.
Right.
$25 to $35 a gram. Okay, and then for an eighth, it goes from 65 all the way to $85.
Damn,
Depending
I
on
used to be able to get a 3-finger lid for $10. Man, it's called inflation.
So
But the quality is supposed to be a lot better. So I guess that
absolutely.
you're paying for that quality.
Yeah. So that's the difference. People always say, how can you tell the difference between an outdoor to a depth to indoor?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the difference. Okay. You, as a indoor grower, you can definitely tell the difference between, the inside taken care of, right?
Yeah.
It's basically natural to man-made, right?
Right.
It's kind of like that, because if you're going outdoors, you're just throwing it, just putting giving them water, and then just letting the sun take care of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's natural, but from an outdoor to an indoor, for some reason, because you're using the right soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, look, you put two people, right?
Yeah.
One, you feed them McDonald's and everything, you know, all the junk food and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, natural way is always, you know, the best, you know. I
Right.
mean, it's all natural, right? And then the indoor is basically controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Controlled as in, you know, if you want to give it a little bit more hormones, you're going to give it a little more hormones, and, you know, this and that, right?
Well, kind of the way they do the chickens on the chicken ranch. Those
Yeah.
chickens don't grow naturally. They inject them with hormones because they got to move them out and into the market. So
Yeah.
they got to plump them up a lot faster,
Mm-hmm.
almost like steroids.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And the only thing is, because you're smoking it, right? You're inhaling it, right?
Right.
It's super harsh. Okay, that's the difference.
Oh, what if the outdoor one is super harsh?
It's harsh.
Oh, wow.
Because I mean, it's growing naturally, but you know, like for us, the indoor, I'm not saying that indoor is better than outdoor. Some outdoors are phenomenally grown, and it's super clean, depending on the farmer. Okay, if he's really serious about, you know, like growing his girls right, you know,
Right.
use the right soils. He's gonna use the right, you know, temperatured, you know, water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's warming it up or, you know, he'll get all of those right. If that happens, then those, you know, or they will become organic, you know, because you're using great organic, you know, temperature control, because outdoor is it's nothing is controlled, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You
When the
can't
sun's
control
gonna
the
be
sun
out,
and all
right,
that.
right. So you don't know when the sun's gonna be out, or the sun's gonna be, you know, you're not gonna have any sun, you know. So, you know, like the way it grows, it goes through so many different, you know, stages because of that. Whereas too, you're like, you know, with the girls indoor, number one, they get the VIP treatment. Okay, they're getting the best soil, whether it's soil, rock wool, you know, water, whatever it is, whatever they use, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I tried everything, and you know, from soil to cocoa to water, I mean, rocks, whatever it is, I tried them all, and rock wool works the best for me.
Right.
But also, soil grows the best weed. Okay,
Oh,
100%. Soil is the best. But you know, to
is
me,
there a particular kind of soil or just
no. It's I mean, it is particular. You don't just use any soil, you know. There's, you know, you got to mix it in with some other stuff, natural stuff, you know, for it to get that full, you know, vitamins that it needs.
because
You
when
know?
we're down on the ranch, we use manure for soil.
Ooh,
Good soil.
I mean, they do, yeah. You know, I mean, some people use coffee, some people use, I mean, there's all types of, you know, ways of, you know, like giving the girls, you know, extra vitamins, you know, for them to grow nicely. So, you know, like I said, for indoor, because it's a lot more hands-on, and also everything is controlled, and, you know, they're getting that VIP treatment where, you know, it's timed, you know.
Right.
If it's 6 o'clock at night, boom, they're ready to eat. The lights are on. Okay?
Yeah.
And then around 6 o'clock, you know, or 7 o'clock, you know, in the morning, right? The lights
Mhm.
are off, so they're sleeping, right? It's and that's how they grow, is
Right.
in that perfect climate, the perfect temperature, you know, the perfect ppm and the pH. Everything is perfect.
Mhm.
And so now, when something goes wrong, as in like the water, the ppm is off or whatever,
Mhm.
the girls will let you know immediately. Okay,
Oh.
that's how you know. Okay, if you see beautiful green leaves, just stretched out. That is a healthy girl. Okay.
So at what time do you know, so if they're flourishing like that, when do you know to cut them and start harvesting them to get
No,
them?
you don't cut them. What do you mean cut? No, you don't cut nothing. No. So
Well, how do you harvest?
stage. They go in stages. Let's just say we're starting from the clone stage, right? Clone stage, they root it. Okay, we're gonna go into the teenage stage. It's just like kids going to school, elementary to middle school to high school and then college. Okay, no college. It's just you get married and have kids. And you're done, so. So the first stage would be the clone, rooted clone, and then transport it. Okay, you transport it into the veg. So it goes into a bigger pot or a bigger, rock bowl. And you let the teenage girls grow a little bit, around for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
depending on the girls, 1 week to 2 weeks, right? But I say 2 weeks is a good, it gives them plenty of room to just, take in all the good stuff, because that's the important stage. And then after that, what I do is I turn off the light. I turn off the light for about 34 to 36 hours.
Oh, after you've given them all the nutrients and things that.
No, you don't even use a lot of the nutrients when they're in the teenage stage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why you're turning off the lights and letting them sleep for about 36 hours is you're letting the girls know it's time for them to bloom. It's time for them to be ladies.
Wow.
So during that transition, right, that's when they're getting ready. Okay. They get ready to pop up their fruits. Okay. So, it's kind of funny the way I'm,
Well, it's relatable. I mean, if I was in a science class and you were giving it to me in scientific terms, I'd probably be confused. But putting it in the life stage growth, I understand it. Now I get it. And it makes it's in layman's term.
Yes. So 36 hours, boom, they sleep, you turn on the lights, but then, when they're in the veggie stage, their light condition is 600 watts. Okay. Yeah. Now, you don't want to give the girls, immediate heat. That's a lot of people make a mistake like that. Okay.
Right.
That's why they sometimes get stunned. Right. What you want to do is slowly go into it. Okay. It's like taking baby steps. You want to take it slow. Okay. So, in order for you to do that, when you turn on the lights, you turn it on at 700 to 800. Okay. Keeping them warm, getting them, ready, fertile, and then after that, you, about, like 1 week pass, you make it a little bit higher, another week, a little higher until you reach that 1,000. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Once it's 1,000, right? Which is like, because you're starting from 700 to 800, right?
Right.
800, and then to 9 to 10. So it's like, you're giving them that baby step within that 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. And so, and then once you hit that stage and then the 1,000 watts, start popping on, then they're ready to rock.
Okay.
That's when they start stretching and fruiting, producing like crazy. Now, like I said, it depends on how you produce it. It's just like, when you're growing a tomato plant, right?
Right.
If you just leave it in one place, it's not gonna grow as much. Okay. It's like you're putting a kid in a small little box, right? I don't think that kid's gonna grow, you know, if you don't feed it good food and then you just, you know, keep him in that small box. But then now you're giving so much, you're just giving the maximum stuff, right? You're giving power to it. Like, you know, what I mean by power, no more baby food, okay? You're eating steaks. You're eating good stuff, all right? So you start giving them those, you know, good nutrients to boost them up, right? And that's when they start, like I said, fruiting, all right? And just like a tomato plant, right? If you start putting nets on and letting the leaves kind of grow like a vine, right?
Right.
Then what's going to happen? A lot more fruits and vegetable will produce. It's just like that, you know.
Okay.
Girl, with the leaves and everything, you want to weave them, you know, in so that they get enough sunlight, they get enough nutrients so that they can just produce their maximum. Okay.
Okay. So now at that point that you've done all this and stuff, is that now are we ready to put it out for distribution?
No.
No.
Now, since you're at that stage, now this is another very, very important stage is the drying and the curing. That a lot of people make mistakes, a lot, okay? Number one, they don't dry it properly, okay? Where, you know, they all leave it in a tub, kind of let it dry, kind of style. Then what happens? Wet to wet, it becomes mold, right?
Oh, wow.
Yes, so a lot of people go through molds, okay? Those are people who does commercial and they don't have enough outtake of air going out.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Because, you know, if you're indoor and you got the lights and you're feeding the girls, can you imagine how much, you know, what do you call that? Moisture will create. And that's where you get the PM and everything. Everything has to be in the right ratio for you to get the perfect harvest. And so when you're drying, they have to be in a room where it will suck up all the moisture out, you know, so that they dry efficiently. They're dry inside out. And then once you dry it, right? Then you know, you trim it, and then the curing process is the very most important thing.
Right.
Because come on, it's all about the stickiness, right? It's all about the smell, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's all about the nose. If the nose is not there, then it's not right. So I mean, you have to put them in an airtight. I like to use glass, right? You know, I mean, but you can use anything that's airtight as long as you're burping them, moving them.
Right.
And that's how, during that time, that's when all the crystals start forming. The natural crystal and terpene starts coming up. And from there, that's how you get the perfect production from seed to sale.
Oh, okay. Now let me ask you this. Do you have to have you have to have a license to grow, right?
You do.
Okay. Now, do you have to have a different license to sell at the dispensaries or to sell or to?
You do. So cultivators,
Mm.
for cultivation, if you have a grow, then you're going to have a distribution. Usually, a lot of the cultivators these days do, what is that? Micro, where they have the cultivation facility, manufacturing, distribution, all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's all in one place, you have to move it, you know, legally, as in using the distribution. So from cultivation, you got to bring in distribution, right?
Right.
To pay as the middle person, just like escrow when you're buying a home. Okay. So your distribution, you're letting them know how much you picked up from cultivation, right? And how much you're dropping off to the distribution, or whether or they're picking up from manufacturers. So distribution is the ones that's handling all the finished products going to the retail.
Okay.
But yes.
So now, okay, so if you have to have a cultivator's license now, and then you have distribution, that requires a license, right? Okay. And then what's the other process that requires another license? The retail?
No, you have to have two types of distribution. One type is from in-house, moving from one place to another, right?
Right.
And there's another distribution where you distribute outside to retailers, or yes, or other distributors. So there's two types of distribution licenses that you need to get, and then whether you have a delivery license or retail license, that's when you buy it from the distributors directly.
But even like a retail license, that has to be doesn't that have to be done through the state?
Yeah, state license. You have to have a state license no matter
what. You have to have a state license.
Yeah. So you have to have your local license and then your state license backing it up.
Okay. So now, okay, so you've been in this for a while. So tell my viewers about your trials and tribulations in this industry.
I mean, my tribulations is like nonstop, man. From 2009, with me having the commercial, grow to, and we actually put a dispensary in Anaheim. Okay, we were ballsy. We decided, okay, we're just gonna go in and we're gonna play by the rules, right?
Yeah.
And let's see what the city does, right? And so, we filed taxes. And we took in, like I said, with the rules and regulations, as in every patient has to have their recommendation, ID, and then they sign a contract with us, basically that we are your caregivers and you are, picking these up from us. But back in the days, we weren't able to say, we made money, they paid this much, right? It was more, what do you call that? It's been so long. I forgot that word. It's, when you're kind of like donating it.
Okay, so it's nonprofit.
There you go. It's a donation. Okay.
Right.
So they come in, we're the caregivers, giving them what they need, right?
Yeah.
And then donating us for providing for them, and all the expenses. That's how we ran it, right? So we had copy of their, recommendations with their driver's license and like the contract that they have with us, and we had everything put together, and everything that I was growing at my facility, I put it over there. But anyways, when you partner up with the wrong people, they just do you dirty in this kind of business. I tell you.
Cutthroat. The music business is the same way. You got to swim amongst the sharks and not get bit.
Absolutely. And, like back in the days in 2008, 2009, there weren't a lot of females at all, a lot of minorities, yes, but not a lot of females.
Right.
And I was one of the first females that was going pretty hardcore. I don't know any, back then, I didn't know any female cultivators except for myself. But the tribulations that we go through is probably, you know, when you're in the black market and somebody knows you're growing, you know what's gonna happen next, right? You get robbed. You can't call the police, you can't do shit, you know, you're just sitting there with a loss.
Yeah.
And in that industry, if you sit down and just cry about it, it's not gonna it's not gonna take you anywhere. So you're just gonna have to wipe your ass and, you know, like, I mean, not wipe your ass, just pat yourself, then get up and restart.
Well, I think isn't that the reason Bo and them got security, because they got hit in their facility?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So yeah, so I guess it's no honor amongst thieves.
Yeah, it's you know, really, like I said, and this was, you know, this was somebody, it's always somebody close to you. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, that's true. I had 5 vintage guitars in my locked away in my closet in my house, and someone broke in and stole them, and those, like, each one of those guitars were worth $30,000-$40,000 a piece. And someone broke in and they knew right where to go to get them, because I had jewelry and cash in my bedroom and they didn't touch that. They just went straight for the guitars. So I said, it's somebody who's been in my house before.
Yep.
That's why that's why I don't invite people over no more.
You know, I mean, like, for me, it was my ex-boyfriend who robbed me, right?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, but hey, you know what? It's my fault for letting him know where it was, number one, and also, it's just when you go through these, when you're doing something in the black market, all right, and somebody knows, they'll find a way. Okay, they will always find a way. And that's one of the tribulations I went through. But you know what? As a female, like, another thing is, where do you sell it? You know, when you're in the black market, is a lot of people grow it and they don't know where to sell it. I know so many people. They're like, they don't know what to do with it, and they don't even know if their stuff is good. You know, they just there were so many people like that. You know, they just get into it because they said they're making all this money, but they don't know the exit strategy, nothing. You know, for me, I was in the marketing, and so everything is, if you're selling something, right? You're marketing, right? So yeah, back in the day, 2009, 2010, Long Beach was pretty hot.
Oh, really?
It was like a strip club, strip alley. That's what we called it, strip alley.
Oh,
you know, there were dispensaries in every other section, every corner. Seriously, okay. So I was like, you know what? Perfect for me. So what I decided to do is, you know, do my little research on some of these dispensaries in Long Beach, and it's my area. So, you know, so what I decided to do is, you know, dress up. My suit.
Put on the vamp appeal.
And you know, put in about 3 units in my my bag, and straight up walk in there. I said, I'm a vendor, and would you like to see some of the products? And they look at me like I was all crazy. It was funny. It was the funniest thing. But you know what? It's you know, if you want to sell something, like I said, you gotta hustle, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yes. And
I used to hustle music out of my car.
you have to, you know, it doesn't matter what you know, you sell. If you hustle, you can make it.
That's true. That
Yes.
is so
But,
true.
but they said you have to be passionate about what you're selling. Okay,
Yeah.
for you to sell it, you know. But yeah, so going back to the, you know, that's how I actually started meeting so many people in the industry, is just walk in yourself, let them know that you're a vendor, you're the grower, and start making deals. And that's what I did. And that, I mean, it was phenomenal. Like it was amazing feeling.
Is
During
that
that
how
time.
you met? Is that how you met Bo?
No, I met Bo. Uh, totally. I approached her. I've
Mm.
heard about Bo here and there, and from a lot of other, you know, people in the industry,
Right.
and they were telling me, why don't you look her up? And I looked her up on LinkedIn, and boom, I, you know, messaged her, gave her a call, and then we've been sisters since then. Yeah.
Well, you guys have one thing in common. You're both Koreans.
Yeah,
So that's a plus.
so yeah, and you know, I've noticed is in this industry, you gotta wear the big boy pants, right?
Mhm.
In this industry, you can't I mean, you gotta watch your back, but at the same time, you know, like you gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta let them know that you know what you're doing,
Right.
and you know, and honestly, affiliate with the right people.
Hmm.
I mean, that connecting with the right people is probably the best, because they're like, I mean, back then there weren't a lot of people in the industry, so like it was a small world.
Right.
Everybody knew everybody.
Mm.
Okay? So that's why I'm just like, okay, in this industry, you know, I'm a over 10-year veteran, so what's up, right? So that's how you get to know, like I said, good growers, good business people, the shady people, you know, and some of those shady people, you don't even know that they're shady, you know,
Yeah.
for over years, you know.
Right. It's,
So
it's it's like a fox in sheep's clothing.
yes, absolutely. And also being a minority, you know, and a female in this industry, you know, going, uh, you know, like in the white,
Yeah.
you know, white market it was tough, not because, you know, the people around you, it's those people that have it.
Hmm.
It's the people that have the money, have the property, and for them, when they hear cannabis, they think that we're freaking millionaires. We got cash stacked up somewhere, you know.
Hidden in the walls somewhere.
Yeah, it's their mentality,
Right.
right? And so, seriously, in 2017, that's when the state was going to regulate everything. Okay, that's when
Hmm.
I think the state regulated I think it was 2000, end of 2017, or was it
Was
2018?
that when 420?
Yeah.
Yeah, April 20th was when everything passed, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
And and I'll tell you, part of my tribulations was dealing with these landlords. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, number one, you know, like getting legit
Hmm.
is is actually really hard, right? Because you lose so much money. Number one, you lose money. You get robbed from the landlords.
Well, don't the landlords charge like triple the amount of rent if you're going to put a cannabis place?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, I had to pay over $100,000 deposit, right?
Right.
And I had to pay $26,000 for an 8,700 square feet facility.
Wow.
So, and I stayed there for a year. So can you imagine how much money I spent? $26,000 a month. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yes, and then I spent over $300,000 on getting the place to the point where you can get inspected. Okay, electrical, everything, right? And I mean, that's like seriously, like the money that you put in the beginning is it really hurts. It really hurts.
So that's an astronomical cost.
Absolutely, you know, it's really hard doing it by yourself. And you know, for me, I'm still by myself right now because, you know, during just the past 2 years working with investors, lenders, wow, I don't know how much they just nibbled on me and just like took so much of this and this money. I mean, for me, it's not traditional lending, right?
Right.
So you know, there's a front fee of this, front fee of that. You know, it was just nonstop to the point where like I got beat.
Mm.
At the end, I ended up spending over $200,000 on just fees, upfront fees.
Wow. Wow. So it's become an expensive industry to get into then.
Yes, it is. And then when you want to buy a property, right? They have it at listing, and that's one of the things I told you that I was going through. It was the lawsuit. You know, I was able to relocate my license from that landlord that basically, you know, knew what I was doing, and he got super greedy, and he tried to use that form where, you know what, I didn't know she was doing cannabis. Well, why don't you look at the contract? Okay. And then he tried so many times to default me that way.
Oh,
Default. Yes. And so, I mean, we went to court. I won with flying colors. And then, you know, later on, he did it again. And this time, I lost the property without me even knowing. Can you believe that? He basically pulled a double jeopardy. The judge didn't even know either.
Oh, wow.
So with that, you know, I had to get an attorney, another attorney, and then try to, you know, sue him. And then I had to relocate. I mean, that's already over $1 million that just was spent over there. Okay. Right. And then relocated to this new facility in downtown LA, you know, where now I needed to really move quickly. Okay. Right. Because it was time frames. Now, city went by strict time frames. So I had to work with that time frame, and for me to do it, it's like I had to constantly kiss butt to the owner of the property.
Yeah.
Make some kind of deal. Nothing was ever free.
Really?
Okay. So those are the difficult things that us cannabis people in the industry goes through. It's not easy. They, like I said, they think that we're some drug dealers that has so much cash in our pockets, that we make so much money. It doesn't work that way. Just like any other business, right? There's cost, and you have to wait for you to actually, make up all the cost that you put in there.
Exactly.
And then after that, there's more cost. You know, where all those costs are going to go, right? To continue with everything, you know, more lights, more money. Okay, it's more money in both ways.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you know, you're making more money. Yes, you're making more money. That means more cost.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, just do the math, put it together. And so that's, you know, that's, I mean, with this pandemic and everything, like my fight with this building owner, it just kind of like disappeared. I had to let it go, basically.
Yeah.
Because my number one attorneys, I am so sick and tired of attorneys. Seriously.
Attorneys are now you talking about sharks.
They're the thieves, okay? They act like they're your friends. They act like they know this. They act like they know that. They act like they're gonna protect you. But all they want at the end is, what are you gonna give me?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And also, this is how much you're gonna put in my pocket, but I'll fight for you.
Yeah, for real. I know that feeling. Okay,
I
look,
mean,
I'm gonna take a break for a second for 1 minute, and then I want you to tell me about your company, your badassery.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? Badassery?
Badassery, yes, exactly the way you said it.
Okay. I'm gonna take a 1 minute break and I'll be right back. Okay, well, let's get back to our conversation after our break. And I wanted you to tell me a little bit about your company, your badassery company, and some of the products that you're doing. Because when I was reading at your prospectus that you had sent me, I saw that you were dealing in a lot of CBD products and things.
Well, okay, so my cannabis company, my licensed cannabis company, which we haven't started yet with all this pandemic. That's why I'm getting lucky right now. With this, during this pandemic, everything got delayed in the city. So, they're giving us a lot more time and also giving us an opportunity to relocate to, those people who's having problems with their landlords, or, those people who doesn't have a facility to put in yet because they don't have the money to do it, right? There's a lot of license holders like that. But my company for my cannabis is a Paxton company. And working on Paxton, I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to put this on hold, okay? And during that hold, I was able to create Organic Creations. That's when Organic Creations was born, which is a manufacturing distribution company for all essential products. Originally, we created Organic Creation was because we were collaborating with Von Dutch, and they wanted to go into the CBD and also other things,
Right.
So we decided, okay, you know what? Let's create Organic Creations, collaborate with Von Dutch, and let's try to move it forward through that. But instead, that paused for a second because a new venture came in, which one of our contacts was basically saying, Jeenah, I know you went through a lot of problems through funding, getting funding for your Paxton company. And so why don't you take your company to public? So I was like, you know what? I got asked that before, but at that time, I was nowhere ready to go public because number one, I didn't have the license. Number two, it wasn't regulated yet with the state. So
plus you have to do, when you go public, you have to go through the SEC. Security Exchange Commission for
Absolutely.
public shares.
But we're gonna go through OTC, over the counter. We're not playing with the big boys yet. You know, we're playing with the little people yet. You know, taking baby steps. You know, so taking that baby step, what we decided to do is let's create a product company. So that product company became Badassery. So that's where Bad was born. Now, Badassery is, the meaning is just the way you hear it, is doing something impossible and making it possible. And that's why, you know, our slogan is "I'm possible, nothing's impossible" for Badassery. So we're saying, hey, you know what? Badassery is a product company, whether it's CBD, whether it's cannabis, whether it's beer, wine, whether it's, you know, medicinal, whether it's clothes, everything. So getting the information of putting my company to public, I decided, you know what? I kind of like that idea because usually people go public when they need funding.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why people sell their shares, go public shares, so that they can get enough money to either expand or to, you know, get going.
Absolutely. So we decided, okay, you know what? I mean, we need a lot of funding to get, you know, buildings for Organic Creations, for Paxton, and just leasing the building for me it just didn't make sense to me, you know.
Right.
I'm about, you know what, I'm over this leasing because, you know, the landlords, they just get so greedy, and it's just really hard to come to a middle agreement. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So
I mean, I have that problem even in my industry, because like I'm looking for a new studio because I want a bigger studio. I've outgrown mine. And, you know, the minute you tell them that it's a music studio or a recording studio, they freak out, because it's like, oh, I can't have all these people hanging out, getting high and doing all this stuff. And I was like, dude, we're here to make music, not get people high. You know?
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yes. So you know, I put in our deck. We are buying the building. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste any time, money, and putting all my, you know, building that place up. And the next thing you know, the landlord won't renew our lease, and he's basically threatening us, you know.
Right.
It's extortion, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's true.
So enough is enough. So Badassery, we decided, okay, you know what? We're gonna take this to another level. Let's take a baby step, and let's get funding through that. So we have our SEC partner.
Are you also familiar with Kickstart funding?
Yes, Kickstart funding. Yes, I heard of that, but you know what? I'm gonna leave the Kickstart to, you know, other people that really have ideas and products and stuff, you know. And for me, what I want to do is, you know, the way we're gonna go is basically, you know, raise the minimum funds that we need for us to go public, to do our press release. Okay. And we were going to put Badassery as the public company, but and Organic Creation and Paxton as the subsidiary companies. But our SEC guy, partner, basically said, you know what, don't do it like that, because it just becomes open to the public. So I decided, okay, you know what? Then what I'm going to do is we're going to come up with another company. And that company is going to be the public company. And Badassery is going to be the subsidiary right under it, because it will support the company that's going public.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's kind of like my company. I have a holding company, and it's publicly traded, but I have subsidiary companies that they're wholly owned by me.
Yes.
And I have control of those.
So what we want to do is, they said that there's not a lot of cannabis company that does very well. Okay, besides MedMen, and you know, all that crazy stuff with the MedMen. But well, I'm not playing with the big boys right now. You know, I'm taking baby steps. So that's why we're gonna stay. Start off with OTC, and so this company, the public company that we created, is Red Sentinel. Red Sentinel, it means the guardian. Okay, so Red Sentinel is gonna be guarding all the companies below it.
Kind of like my sign back here, Souls of Solidarity. See how the one eye overlooks everything else.
Yes. So now we're gonna go all out. Once we go public with Red Sentinel, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing all these collaborations right now. So I'm talking to this, I don't want to say the name right now, but he's an old school rapper. He made music with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, what is that, Warren G, all the old school rappers. And he has a brand right now, and he really loves the idea of how we're going to create our products. And so we're right now thinking of and already talking about collaboration with that product company and himself, so that we can take the brand to another level. So Organic Creations. So now Organic Creations will be manufacturing all of Badassery and our collaboration, product company.
Right.
So that it's easier for like any retailers to actually come into our facility, and we will have individual showrooms. So for example, for Organic Creation, we're gonna have our own products that's, labeled Organic Creations. And then we're gonna have another room that's all Von Dutch stuff. Okay, now Von Dutch is already coming back, and it's gonna be pretty hot. So, like a lot of the retailers, like, Chevron gas stations, 7-Elevens, they're really interested in those products. And also, we have the collaborators product with all of his different products that we're going to have. And then we're going to have Badassery products, which Badassery products is just going to go all over globally.
Yeah.
Now, Badassery product, like I said, it's it's overall company. Now I have Paxton, the cannabis company, that's gonna grow, manufacture, brand all of the cannabis products for Badassery or for the collaborator, right?
Yeah.
And then anything else, we're gonna go through Organic Creations. So during that time, we were negotiating, we were creating Organic Creation and doing the collaborations with Von Dutch. We also worked on a marketing strategy, and also met up with, had meetings already with retailers.
Wow.
So, yes. So right now we have a big group of, a handful of 7-Elevens right now that want to try out AM/PM. this is probably one of the biggest ones,
Yeah.
truck stops. That's huge.
Oh,
I can't believe how many truck stops there are.
oh yeah.
And how much stuff that truck stops, you know, truckers buy and what they want. It's phenomenal, you know, of how much money those truck stops make. It's like a all-in-one convenience store over there.
So you need to be like an octopus with all the tentacles out, controlling all these different companies and products.
And you're gonna automatically stick to my tentacles. It's so
you have a way of convincing people anyway.
You know, yeah, I'm about, you know, hey, packaging is important, and also, of course, number one is the product itself.
Right.
So,
right.
you know, for me, there's so many products out there, and honestly, I don't consider it a competition, only because everybody's product is different.
Yeah.
And there's so many consumers out there, so many buyers, so many, you know, retailers. So people are gonna buy your products. People are gonna buy other products. It's always gonna be like that. If yours is good enough, that's how many people are gonna, you know, buy your products.
Now I noticed that your drinks and stuff are CBD. They have CBD in them.
Well,
Now what's the difference? You know, because I'm still a novice at this. What's the difference now? CBD comes from the marijuana plant, right?
Yes. No. Well, it's not really marijuana plant. There's a difference. Okay. Yes. So if you put a hemp plant, right, and a cannabis plant, they will grow totally differently. Plants look much more different than the marijuana plants.
Okay, so how did CBD come about? I mean, I know there's THC,
THC, CBD, and so many other things, you know. Like to prefer THC as Delta-9, okay? In the lab world, that's what they call it, Delta-9. And then there's a new thing called the Delta-8, which is that's the separation. What I mean by the separation is the Delta-9 is mostly euphoric. It's a head high. And Delta-8 is the body high. So if you put Delta-8 and Delta-9 together, you get a complete head and body high. But with Delta-8 too, you can feel a little bit of the head, but it's clear, very clear. And not only that, Delta-8 is federally legal as long as you're at that 0.3, just like CBD. But it works way better than CBD. You could actually feel your body, like if you have a backache, right? Feeling anxious or whatever, but then you want to be solid in your head, right?
Right.
Then Delta-8 would be good because you're able to focus and relax at the same time. You know, your body is relaxed, and when your body is relaxed, your mind is relaxed. So a lot of people who needs to work, but you know, they're just stressed out or overwhelmed, Delta-8 is probably the #1 thing to take.
And does it put you to sleep?
Oh, you know what? It works great as a sedative. You know, I mean not sedative, but you know, as a NyQuil.
Right. Yeah, something to relax you.
Relax you, and not only that, you know, the Delta-8, they have their range too, and the stronger ones, I mean, they'll knock you out. They'll knock you out. You don't even know that you're knocked out. You're knocked out.
Really?
And you will sleep through like a baby till the morning. You know, so it's for you know, people with glaucomas, people with arthritis, people with, that had knee injury, back injury, anything like that. The people with headaches, Delta-8 will probably, be, that Delta-8 just started popping in.
Oh, really?
People really didn't notice what the Delta-8 was
Mm.
until somebody separated it. Okay.
So now all these products and stuff, what are the give me a list of the benefits that will come out of all these products that you're developing and things.
So for a while, I worked with a lot of biochemists, and there's one particular biochemist, a friend of mine. He's a really smart guy, Harvard undergraduate. I mean, this guy is pretty phenomenal, but this guy, he has older biochemist friends who's been a lab rep for Cancer Association for over 45 to 50 years. And all they did was work with cannabis. And you know what? Did you know that cannabis is actually not referring to marijuana? Cannabis is actually referring to the hemp plant.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Cannabinoids, are more towards the CBD, whether it's CBG or, CBG is more for, that's where the sleep aid comes in. CBG, it will put you to sleep. Okay? That's what makes your body super relaxed and knock you out.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that.
You know what? There's a lot of miscommunication in regards to CBD.
Right.
I learned a lot about CBD through them, those biochemists, professional biochemists, and and what they told me was people right now consume CBD like it's nothing. They'll be taking CBD all day. No, that's wrong. You're not supposed to take. You're supposed to take just like vitamins. If you overload yourself with vitamins, you can die.
Right.
Yeah.
Too much is not necessarily a good thing.
Yes. Too much is not good,
Yeah.
So with CBD too, it depends on your body type and what type of sickness you have, right? It works differently. So, but for a perfectly healthy person, should not take more than 35 milligrams of CBD. Don't quote me on the 35, but it's about that number.
Right.
Around that number that you should be consuming per day. Okay. So now you see all these people with 300 milligrams of this, 500 milligrams of that, 1,000, and they feel, okay, more sick I am, I need to put a lot more CBD in my body. It is true. It is true because it works with your blood cells.
Right.
But like I said, you should always talk to somebody who knows a lot more about CBD.
Yeah, who's more knowledgeable in that.
Yes, before you take CBD like an everyday thing, because too much CBD in your body can reverse the benefits that it can do for you.
Yeah, because your body becomes immune to it after a while. Yeah.
Okay, so it's another thing I'll tell you about CBD is you have cannabinoids in your body. Okay, so you have cancer cells in your body. Okay,
right.
Healthy cancer cells. Right. When you're born, when you're a teenager, whatever, you're let's just say you're a healthy person, now, but then before you drank and yada yada yada, and it ate bad food, okay, unhealthy foods, okay, not bad food, and what it does is your healthy cancer cells, right?
Yeah.
It starts getting splattered, right, with all these preservatives, sodiums, alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs, and yada, 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 yada. And what happens is it starts flooding your body, right?
Yeah.
And covers up the cannabinoids that it works with your blood cells.
Mm.
So when that happens, your cancer cells, right?
Yeah.
It starts going bad, and then it starts turning into tumors, into bad cancers, right?
Mm-hmm.
To
Yeah.
stage 2 to stage 3. And what CBD does, we're not saying that it cures cancer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's saying
Right.
it cures cancer. It helps your body clean up that bad. It's basically making your cancer cells healthier. You're treating it. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
And now the THC, right?
Mm.
You can't only work with CBD. You have to have a little THC for it to boost up the CBD to work its full,
It's magic.
Yes. So with that, when a cancer patient, let's just say stage 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
if you eat the right food, take the the right amount of CBD, right, with the ratio of a little bit of the THC,
Mm-hmm.
then what it does is there's in your body, it's a traffic, right?
Right.
Traffic of all these bad stuff that you eat. When you're taking the CBD, right, then what it does, it starts clearing it up.
Oh, okay.
Opening it up so that it can work directly with your cancer cells. So all the bad stuff, all the bad cancer cells would start the word committing suicide. Dying off.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's what it does. That's the knowledge. Like I said, this is the knowledge that I got from these biochemists.
Right.
Worked at Cancer Association for over 45 to 50 years. And so with all those beneficial stuff and the wonderful things that every part of cannabis plant or marijuana plant can give, I mean, for me, gosh, it's a God-given plant.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like it. It's all the benefits that it can provide. It's just like anything, though. People, they'll abuse it, instead of regulating it in their body and making it work. They'll start to feel good, and they say, "Oh, well, this makes me feel real good. I should take more of it." Yeah.
Right. And so, and the great thing about this is that it is not addicting. If you don't need it, right? If you don't have a headache, then you don't need to take it. Of course, those people who just, like to get high all day. There are people like that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know some.
I medicate. I medicate every day. I do. I'm not gonna. Why? Because I'm a cultivator. Like that.
Well, you got to know your product.
Absolutely, and you got to learn how to try other people's stuff too.
Yeah.
You can't just think that yours is great. No, if you're a great chef, you wanna try other chefs' food to see what they're doing, to see how it tastes, how it looks, how it smells, how it's been grown. Of course, that you're not gonna know how it's been grown, but that secret is only
that's your secret recipe.
So with right now with Badassery and Red Sentinel and all of my other, what we're gonna do is once we go public with Red Sentinel, We're gonna start, you know, it's just gonna be like you managing social media. You know,
Right.
you have these followers, but then your followers are gonna be your stockholders,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
So for them, you know, I want them to feel that you know, not feel, but I don't want to disappoint them.
Right. Right. Right.
They believe in me, and they put their money in to see what I can, you know, like build, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, you know, like it's not all about myself. It's for me now. It's about collaboration. Okay, mine is not better than yours. Okay,
Right.
yours is as good as mine. So right now, I'm with my company being you know, going public. That's what I want to do. In order for you to start that, is you have to show them yours.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What I mean by that is you can't walk around with no money and say, hey, let's collaborate. No, you show me yours and I'll show you mine. It's always like that. Okay.
Well, that's true.
So I'm letting them know, okay, I have this. You need help? I know you're capable of doing this. Let's collaborate. Let's help each other.
So on that note, can you tell my audience how they can either get in touch with you, or if they are interested in investing in your company or something like that? Can you give them some information how to get hold of you? And
Sure, absolutely. I mean, best way to get a hold of me is my email, which is Jeenah, JEENHA 777, lucky numbers, @gmail.com. And I mean, if you guys have questions, you know, we have decks, and we're always open. I mean, our end goal is not to become one of the best product companies. No, our end goal is to get the minorities up, right? Especially during the time of this kind of pandemic, is the people that suffers the most is the low income and the middle class, right?
right.
So right now, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it just makes me move into a different perspective, you know, when you're sitting back and watching with what everything's happening. And with that, so many farmers all over the state that has land who's just about to go bankrupt.
Right. Oh yeah.
And with those people and so many other businesses too, just you know, ready to go bankrupt. And,
Well, and you know, with this COVID thing, a lot of businesses have gone out of business, and I'm finding there's more and more warehouses available, and I'm thinking about picking one up, you know, at a cheap price.
Smart, yes. You know, when you have the dough and you got the good properties, you know, like during this time, you gotta go and get it.
Yeah.
And so with that, you know what? Once we get this up, what we're planning to do is, like I said, there's a lot of farms, and we're working with Indian reservations right now too, because they don't get any help.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, if anybody needs that products grown on their land, it would be the Indians. I mean, they have all that reservation land that the government just pushed them back there, and that's why some of them are thriving with the casinos and stuff.
Yes. And you know, like the things that I hear from the actual Native Americans that live in the tribe is, it's really bad. It's really bad. They're like seriously poor to the poor.
Yeah.
Okay, at least we get assistance from the government. They don't. You know, it's like ones with the casinos, right? They're the only ones going to be rich. All the rest of them, they don't get shit.
Oh, I know. They, you know, it's so funny. I was up at the Utes tribal ground, and I got to know them and stuff. And they, see, they put them back there in this reservation, and it was, at the time, it was useless land.
Mhm.
Well, the Utes found out that there's oil
Mhm.
and gas in their land. And so now the government wants to come in and try to regulate it and take it and stuff. And I said, dude, you didn't even want that land. And now that there's oil and gas in it, they want to all of a sudden, oh yeah, let us help you and take it out and stuff. I said, shit, I told them kiss my ass. You know?
Seriously, seriously, you know, and,
But
and it's so hard for them to trust anybody,
yeah, that's true.
not knowing that they're gonna take advantage of them, right? So,
That's
and they've been hit by so many different people, and they didn't benefit anything. So during this time, you know, that's what I want to do is, you know, like I have a new mission now. Now my mission is completely different. It's like I said, it's not about making good cannabis product. It's using that all of my companies to facilitate the fundings so that we can collaborate with all different people. What I'm talking about is seed farmers, right? I want to collaborate with seed farmers so that, you know, we can give the seeds, right, to
right.
other farmers that can afford it, right? And then have them start growing hemp. But these people, they don't know how to facilitate anything. So that's where we're going to come in and help them get their land back up, right?
Yeah.
Their land back up means jobs, right? And also at the same time, we're already talking with a few um, industries in the wood industry, cement industry, also drywall industry. You know, they're sitting on so much material, and they can't even build anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So what is, you know, they're just sitting there, and so, and not only that, I mean, the cost of housing these days, gosh, man, you know,
No, it's ridiculous, especially California.
oh
Yeah,
gosh,
when
yes.
I was traveling, I was in Florida, I was in Arizona, Texas, Florida,
Mhm.
and stuff. And the change in prices of housing once you leave California is like night and day. I mean, you can get a house in down in Texas and Florida. A $300,000 house would get you almost a mansion down there.
Yeah, Colorado Springs, you know, I mean, Colorado, I mean, all of the other states, Georgia,
Yeah,
Las Vegas.
yeah, even Las Vegas. I mean, and so I'm amazed. I said, what? How is it that you can get houses so much cheaper once you leave California, but yet when you're in California, the building costs are higher? It's the same material.
Yeah, it
How
is.
is it so much higher compared to the other states
Right.
that where it's lower cost of materials? It's the same material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
So,
that just tells me California is greedy as crap.
mhm.
You know, they want you to pay for that ocean, for that ocean view.
So now you know that the people running California is all about themselves only.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why what's his name didn't open up these businesses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But while I was in Florida, everything was open. We didn't. I mean, you know, people still wore their mask, but they didn't. But everything was open.
Bars were open and all this were, I
Yeah.
was just like shocked. I was like, whoa.
So it's like things are changing. But you know, I'm starting to buy property in other areas and stuff in other states because I mean, I'm going to always be a part of California, but I want to also have other alternatives.
Right. Because if California goes shit, you know, you have a place
Yep.
to go.
Yeah, I got to have a place to go. So
Right.
it's all good. So
So yeah, so you know, like this is another level we're going, and we're trying to, with that, you know, create companies that can facilitate jobs to you know, many minorities, for single parents, right?
Right.
That's my biggest thing. My tribulation, I didn't have a, you know, like, uh, what do you call that? I didn't grow up with everything. You know, I grew up in the projects to a single mother. You
Hmm.
know, I went through my tribulation, so I'm humble as to, you know, just the fact that, you know, I have a roof over my head, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
kids. So so with that, I can't imagine what other people are going through, right? And so with, you know, thinking about those things, just you you're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna be one of those entrepreneurs that makes money and sure donate some money to, you know, these organization. I, I don't want to donate any money to organization. Instead, I want to be the one with people to make that change, right? And in order for you to do that, you're the one who has to give first,
Right. And you
right?
have to, you know, my whole theory was, you know, if a person is hungry,
Mhm.
you know, you don't want to just give them food, or give them a fish. You want to teach them how to fish so that they can have more food and
Absolutely.
not have to depend on me or anybody else to have that food.
Absolutely. And those are the things that we need. We need a system. We need a system that can really help, you know, the minorities out there. And there's so many minorities out there that goes through, you know, I mean, to the point where they're becoming homeless now, right?
Oh, man, big time.
So
It's
so
crazy.
so what I want, you know, like getting all these things up, that's a no-brainer. That's what I'm doing. Nothing
Right.
hard. That people already has properties. People already have a farmland. They have this, they have that, but they just don't know where to go with it.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I want to collaborate with, get them started, get them up, right? And then make it use, okay, wasting absolutely nothing, right? It's from seed to all the way to waste, right? Where we will be making money and creating jobs and building these small homes where it's affordable, and also where we can build these small homes, tiny homes, and work with the government so that there is nobody going homeless.
Exactly.
Ones that can get restored, right? And that needs that little helping hand,
Hmm.
why not us? Why can't we do it?
Well,
Right?
that's true. You know, but the problem with government, and this is the biggest problem I have with government.
Mhm.
Government wants to put its hands in everything. They want to control and regulate, just like the marijuana industry. The only reason it became legal because the government could get control of it.
Mhm.
But this is what pisses me off about government. Government does not make or produce anything.
Mhm.
You know how government makes its money is by taxing everybody and by charging extravagant licensing fees and things like that. Like even DMV, you know, DMV fees are a lot higher than they should be. But
Mhm.
that's because government wants to take all the money that you make and put it into their coffers and regulate everything. But the
Yep.
problem is they don't produce nothing. They're not part of the gross national product. The government produces nothing. They are actually an expense
Mhm.
in society. And that's what people don't realize. And someone asked me, they said, how can government do all this and stuff? I said, well, because you pay them taxes, you pay them fees, you pay them everything. And they said, well, how can it stop? I said, the only way you can take a government down is to not pay taxes. But to get 500 million people in the United States to do that is going to be very hard,
Right.
you know, because there are services and stuff. But if people stop paying taxes to the
Mhm.
government would falter because they wouldn't have any money. They get their money from us.
You know how shady they are? Back in 1990, I think it's either 96 or 95, the government patented cannabis.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I
They did.
believe it.
Yeah, they patented marijuana.
Yeah.
I believe that, and it's legal. It's illegal. I mean, and then put it up in schedule. It's like I said, it's all a purpose.
Oh,
They
I know.
reason.
Yeah, I've been fighting it. I've been fighting government for years, and I get pissed off that when they have to try to put me through red tape,
Mhm.
and I tell them, I said, why are you guys trying to get my money
Mhm.
when you guys don't even put any money in the coffers? You know, it's like you take and take and take.
Mhm.
You give nothing.
Mhm.
Okay, so you give welfare and stuff, and they
Mhm.
say, and then the other thing they'll say, well, we give you Social Security.
Mhm.
Bullshit. Social Security is given to us because we pay into it
Right.
to get it.
Right.
Okay, it ain't because they're being nice and saying here's a gift. That ain't your gift to give. Shit, that we pay into that. So you know, that's what pisses me off about the government. There's some things I can go on. That's a whole new chapter there I can get into. So, but anyway, I'm gonna close this out and thank you dearly for coming on and opening my 2021 season. Yeah, because I told my viewers that I was going to take end of December and January off before I started, doing shows again. And so my viewers have been bugging me. What are you gonna your show coming up? But like I said, I wanted people to know about the cannabis industry and what you're doing and things like that, and let people know. Do you have an Instagram account?
Instagram?
Yeah.
I do, but then it's personal Instagram, and I have Paxton Company Instagram, but I don't have anything on it except for
Get your information,
yeah.
get it to me, and I'll put it on my show. My show does go out to 4.4 million people.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, so do that. Get me the information, and I'll get it out because I still got to edit this show anyway. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Get it to me. But anyway, well, thanks for coming on, Jeenah. I appreciate it. And I'd like to maybe have you on a little later on in a few months and see where your progress is and where you're heading.
All right. I really hope I'm not in the. You know what? I'll let you know when it's happening.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna see you, back at the food thing, but I'm down for a while because, like I said, I had knee surgery, so
Yes.
I'm not moving too well right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have plans? Are you a sports fan? Do you watch football?
Yeah, we do have plans for the Super Bowl.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, which is staying at home watching it, and
Yeah.
win.
Well, I got some money on it, so I'm gonna watch it. But yeah, there's not too much I can do. But anyway, well, once again, thanks for coming on, and I will see you soon and talk to you soon because I know where you're at.
You can find me.
Yeah. All right, and tell Roy and the girls hello for me.
I will.
And be great like you are.
I will. It won't stop me. I'm gonna keep working.
Okay, babe. I'll talk to you later then.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you. Bye.